Back in the 1960s, the so-called Milgram experiments demonstrated that people will do things that go against their claimed ethical guidelines, their morals, if they're instructed to do so. These were the experiments you may have heard of where people were instructed to electrocute someone in another room at the instruction of the experimenter. And even when they were told that this electric shock would be life-threatening and they would hear screams and so on from the other room, they would often continue to electrocute the person. Now, one of the working theories was that perhaps people were pushing the responsibility to the other person. They would say, hey, I didn't really do this. I was told to do it by the other person. It wasn't my fault. But a new set of experiments has called that into question. See, in this new experiment, they had people grind up bugs in a coffee grinder. And no bugs were actually harmed in the experiment, but the people thought that they were. And importantly, even when they knew that it was totally up to them, if they felt that it was a command versus a request, people would often still do it. Experimenters even asked afterward whether or not they felt it was their responsibility, and they would say yes. Meaning, it's a lot more about following orders, in a sense, and obeying commands than it really is about being able to push off one's responsibility. This was even assessed with what we call psychophysiological measures, meaning they would measure the individual's skin conductance, and they noticed that the people who obeyed and felt that this was really their responsibility had heightened skin conductance associated with anxiety. That's in contrast to, say, those who didn't obey the orders and did not have that heightened skin conductance. They felt much more calm as a result of not participating. Of course, this still leaves open the question of why would people follow orders when they clearly conflict with their own morals and they acknowledge that they had control over the situation. And maybe some future experiments will shed more light on that question and its answer.